Hello and welcome. My name's Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and a certified life coach. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. My intention behind these videos is to bring a deeper understanding of the characters on Gilmore Girls by using therapeutic theories and hopefully to reduce the stigma around therapy and reaching out for counseling, as anyone can benefit from these services. Today, I'm going to be analyzing the episode where Lorelai and Max have their first date. Let's get to the show.
What are you doing here?
I was on my way back from Stanford. My car decided to stop.
Here?
Yes.
In my town?
Yes.
Good car.
It's nice to see you.
You too.
There's a snowstorm, and Max ends up stranded in Stars Hollow, and Lorelai spots him.
Where's Rory tonight?
She's in Hartford with her grandparents.
That must be nice.
Rory is staying at her grandparents' place because of the snowstorm, so Lorelai and Max have the evening to themselves, or so they think.
But I was the one who asked you out initially, so therefore I am still obligated to do the taking.
Yes, but I was the one who did the canceling after you did the asking. Therefore, you forfeit your taking rights to me, the counselor.
They still haven't had their official first date since the last time they tried, and Lorelai canceled because of Cinnamon's wake. I think up to this point they've been playing phone tag and haven't had the chance to reschedule a first date.
God, it's a beautiful night, huh?
Yes, it is.
So, tell me something about yourself.
Like what?
Have you ever been married?
Nope.
Okay, so she's just diving right in. It's good that they feel comfortable talking about this subject, because I think most people would be caught off guard to be talking about their past serious relationships on their first date. But maybe they've already built a strong rapport and they're totally fine with having this conversation.
How about you?
Oh, I've never been married.
Ever been close?
Rory's dad proposed.
What happened?
The bell rang. I was late for chem lab.
Never sorry that you didn't?
Oh, no, we were so young and my life would have been completely different.
Max reciprocates the question to Lorelai and asks her if she was close to getting married. And she mentions that Christopher proposed when they were in high school. And we find later on in the series that it was because they found out they were pregnant. And there was pressure from their parents for the two of them to get married. Lorelai has opened up and said that she doesn't regret not getting married. And I think it was very significant because if she did get married, she would still be in her parents' worlds of wealth and social expectations, etc., that she was trying so hard to get away from when she was younger. So they've picked up some food and they're going to see a movie.
Are you scared yet?
You know, you're very annoying in a movie.
I know. I think it's very important that you know my faults as well as my many attributes.
Very thoughtful of you.
Another interesting approach to Lorelai's dating strategy. It shows that she's open to showing Max her positive and not so positive qualities. Up until this point, they've been pretty transparent with each other. They clearly are attracted to each other, and they both seem to have the ability to hold witty conversations. And we see that they have their first kiss. Good for them. Let's see what happens after the movies.
I was so excited about the snow and about seeing you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I didn't really think this thing out. I have really strict rules about dating. I keep my personal life totally separate from my life with Rory.
They walk back to Lorelai's house and she's feeling hesitant to let him in the house because she feels that she hasn't thought about the possible consequences. She continues to be open with Max and tells him what her dating routine typically looks like, which is that she keeps her dating life separate from her life with Rory. As a single parent, there are different ways to navigate dating and involving their kids. Also, is that real snow in the back?
I never want her to feel unsettled or like her life could just shift at any moment.
I totally understand.
And she comes first, and this is her house, too.
I understand.
Lorelai explains that Rory comes first, and why it's important for her to keep these aspects separate in their lives, and why she compartmentalizes. Now, it's going to be a bit tricky with the relationship, seeing as how Max is Rory's teacher, so the habit of separating those aspects isn't going to work in this case. I think it's really great that Lorelai is so considerate of Rory and her feelings, especially since she and Rory had a conversation not too long ago about Lorelai hiding the fact that she and Max are going to start dating. And it's good to see that Max understands where Lorelai is coming from also.
What if I promised you that if you let me in, all I'm expecting is a cup of coffee? That's it.
Does anyone actually think he was only expecting a cup of coffee? I'm on to you, Max Medina.
How badly do you want that coffee?
Not that badly.
Such a good answer.
How many kids did you say you have?
One. Why? Lane! Hey!
Oh my god, poor Lane. She was waiting for Rory to come back because she was upset with Rory, and now she walks in on this. Now, maybe this was a good thing because it gave the opportunity for Max and Lorelai to realize what they're about to do and figure out if this is a good idea or not.
Lane is gonna stay here tonight. She had a really bad teen day and she needs to crash someplace sympathetic.
Okay, I understand.
So Lane has things going on in her life that she feels that Rory wasn't being supportive of. Long story short, she has a crush on a guy and she touched his hair and then ran away to Lorelai's house. Poor girl.
Can you recommend a hotel that's really, really close to here?
Why don't you just stay here tonight? Everybody else is.
I don't know.
Max is showing that he's respectful of their previous conversation and he's willing to stay the night at a hotel. Due to the snowstorm, Lorelai convinces him to spend the evening there, which is probably the safest option considering how much snow there is outside, and it's probably getting quite late. So let's see what happens the next morning when Rory comes back from her grandparents' place to find her teacher sleeping on their couch.
Yes, I knew you were going to date. I just didn't expect for him to be here at our house in the morning.
I know.
I don't even remember ever there being a man in our house.
Yeah, well, I kind of broke the rules.
Rory is obviously surprised and shocked that Max spent the night at their house, as she wasn't expecting to see him there in the morning. It sounds like she was aware that Lorelai and Max were going to date, and she probably feels a bit uncomfortable, or maybe that their relationship is moving faster than she thought. Also, this is a new experience for her, because Lorelai has never brought a man to the house, let alone spend the night.
God, why is this so weird for me?
Because I should have told you first.
No.
Because I should have talked to you before I did this.
No.
Because you're afraid he smushed the couch pillows out of shape.
Do you love him?
Rory says she feels weird, and Lorelai tries to pinpoint exactly what Rory feels weird about. It's definitely one way to get a clear answer, but it might be beneficial for Rory to take some time to process how she's feeling, and then she can discuss it with Lorelai later on. Because what can happen is if Lorelai is trying to throw out different ideas of why Rory might be feeling weird, it might actually influence what Rory is actually feeling. And then Rory asks Lorelai if she loves Max. Why would Rory ask this? Well, she's probably wondering how serious their relationship is, and maybe she thinks that since he spent the night at their house, that things are moving quickly, especially if that's never happened before. It can also help Rory process what's going on if she can put meaning behind what has happened.
We had one date. It was a great date. World Series level, but it was just a date.
Lorelai is being honest. She told Rory before that she hasn't felt this way in a long time. They had a really great date, but it's still too early to tell if she's in love with him or not.
I promised myself a long time ago that I was going to keep all this stuff separate from you, and I want you to know that that still stands. Okay? This was a one-time thing.
Lorelai notices that Rory isn't comfortable with the situation, and she tries to reassure her that it won't happen again. Now, this can help bring feelings of security back into their relationship and in the household, right? So they had an understanding that there wouldn't be any men staying in the house. That rule was broken, and now Lorelai needs to re-establish the expectations around this. by saying this was a one-time thing.
I mean, if you like someone, you should feel comfortable with doing that.
I appreciate that.
I want you to be happy.
And I love you for that.
Plus, I know you're not a cat person, so you truly will be alone if you don't find someone.
Rory is giving her blessing to Lorelai by stating that if she wants to bring someone over, then she should be comfortable doing that. Rory is in her teenage years, she's maturing, and she probably is more accepting of the idea of her mom dating, and for Lorelai not to have to keep her relationship so separate from Rory, especially if she's dating Max.
I will bring somebody home. But when I do, I just want to be sure it's the guy.
Mr. Medina's not the guy?
I don't know. He might be. But right now, it's just you and me. And sometimes Lane.
If you have any scenes or relationships you'd like me to analyze, leave your suggestions in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. In the meantime, take a look at my other therapist reviews videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself.